Well, that was a whirlwind. This week felt like someone hit fast forward on the entire video game industry, and every day was yet another breaking news story. From AI causing potential console delays, Highguard can't catch a break, Bluepoint being shut down, and the fallout from the sudden change of guard at Xbox. Can someone please hand me a glass of wine?
Get ready for the Girls on Games podcast, your weekly dose of news, reviews, and everything video games. Always served with a good helping of hype and just a pinch of salt. And now, your host, Leah.
Hello and welcome to another Girls on Games podcast. My name is Leah. I'm the host of this show. This is episode number 530, and man, have we got a roller coaster ride for you here today. Joining me around this digital table includes Catherine. Hello.
Hello.
And Joelle, what's up?
Hello. You know, we had fall spring.
Yep.
So that happened, and then now we're in like the worst of it, 'cause it's like so depressing because you got a taste of it, and then it's just like, just kidding. Here's single digits again.
Especially if you're on the east coast, because
Yeah.
New York is currently getting hammered. My parents had 70 centimeters of snow a few days ago, and now they're getting another 25.
Holy
shit. Yeah. We are in the thick of the winter. But yes, there was definitely a fall spring, and everybody was outside feeling kind of good. And I was like, just you wait. She's going to come get us, that Mother Nature.
So true.
My. Yeah, and we had our own kind of whirlwind storm last week of the video game industry and news stories, which we're going to talk about. But first, let's get through some housekeeping. If you enjoy this show, you can subscribe. We're available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Podbean. If you'd like to give us a tip, maybe buy us a coffee, you can do that by going to our Ko-fi. That's ko-fi.com/girlsongames. Ladies, I'm not going to lie. I think last week all I did was work and then spend all my time trying to consume all the things that were happening in the video game industry. Catherine, did you do anything fun?
Not much, honestly. Yeah. We had Alban come over on Saturday so that we could continue our campaign of the Elden Ring board game.
Very nice.
We tried a dungeon with a boss at the end. Did not go well. So we're gonna have, but also we hadn't played since like before Christmas. So we were clearly not up to date on our strategy. At one point, like Pascal's like, both of you remember what your armor's doing? And we were like, we have armor? And listen, we were stuck because it was a fight that if you finished in one of either two lanes, you'd get hit by a ballista for 4 points of damage. So you needed to have the cards to defend or just move. And essentially, I'm a warrior, which is basically somebody that has two scimitars, and I can use like my attacks to defend. Like good offense is a great offense. So if I don't have like attack defense card like in my deck in my hand at the end of my turn, I can move two squares for free.
Oh.
And Alba is playing somebody who's like a mix of a rogue and a spellcaster, and he's like hidden, reveal. If he finishes his turn hidden, if he starts his turn hidden, he can move two squares for free. So we forgot that, and we got hit by ballistas in the face.
Oh, and you could have dodged them all together.
Yeah. So anyway, Pascal is playing the Wretch. If you're familiar with Elden Ring, you know what a Wretch run is. You start naked with just a club. That's what he's playing. He's like, I don't have an armor. He's like, that's the point of the build. He's like, okay, everybody read their cards. And then when we redid it, we were a bit better on strategy. We got our first like gauntlet done. Then we went to the dungeon, and then the dungeon kicked our ass because like I think at one point there's a bit of luck. It depends on the draw. If you draw the cards you need in your hand so that you can have a good play. So yeah, just reconnecting with that. The rest of the week was a whole lot of working and a whole lot of talking about the Olympics and a whole lot of I should finish my Baldur's Gate run and then just doom scrolling instead.
Feel that. Joelle, how about you?
This weekend we had a birthday party that we went to,
Nice.
And we could tell that we were all, mid to late 30s because we all got there at like 6, and we had some hors d'oeuvres, and it was a make your own taco bar. And then a lot of people left about an hour and a half to 2 hours later because we all had pets to feed and we were all tired. I was like, oh, this is what parties are like now. We're just like, oh, we all have to leave. So then we left. And then I took some days off of work this week, which has been really nice just to like get a little more routine with the puppy. And I went and had a massage. And then I napped because I was so tired after the massage.
That always gets me, the massage.
They do.
Afterwards, I feel a little tipsy.
Yes, I know. I'm like so out of it. Like I went to the grocery store and I was like, what am I doing here?
Well, this is a good episode of the podcast for you to be feeling a little out of it.
It is. I'm just like, this is going to be a little unhinged. So
that's what last week was.
It was. I was like, I think I'm also like slightly fatigued of like breaking news. This happened. Then this happened. And I'm kind of over. I don't know. I'm a little desensitized to it, I think, a little bit now where I'm like, sure, I guess this is happening. Great. Like
everything.
Keep it coming.
It's not like just the video game industry. It's absolutely everything is. I feel like the dog in that meme.
This is fine.
With the fire.
This is fine.
I'm at the point where they're like breaking video game news. I'm like, do I still have a job? Everything else can wait.
That's right. Yeah.
Am I fired? No? Okay.
Am I fired?
Am I laid off? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. Let's get to the Fantasy Critic podcast league. Ladies, nothing happened last week. We had nar game release and nar bid and nar drop. So we're exactly where we were this time last week. On the Community League, additionally, nothing came out game-wise that was on everybody's list. But there was a little bit of bidding and bidding war. So, People of Note is a video game that was acquired by Pat with a bid of $11. Another game called Big Walk was acquired by Darth Stridius with a bid of $5. Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus 2? Am I saying that right?
Probably.
Okay. We're just going to hope I'm saying that right. So that was won by Stainsby Kingsby, a bid of $10. Total War Warhammer 3 Lords of the End Times was won by Stainsby Kingsby with a bid of $5. And then Invincible Versus was won by Stainsby Kingsby with a bid of $5. Man!
Went on a spending spree
So you're probably wondering where everybody lands. And I mean, I'll read through it real quick since, nothing changed. But essentially, the rankings currently are Phoenix in first, then Darth Stridius, Kat, Jessica Starr, myself, Ross, Margot Plays, Joelle, Snake Fred, Stainsby Kingsby, Ari Richter, IR Gamer, that's Pat, Offshore Meteor, and NJK. And Ari Richter, Pat, Offshore Meteor, and NJK have not had a game release yet. Well, I tried to play some video games last week. Did you ladies try to play some video games? I mean, I made a valiant effort, but I wasn't actually able to kind of like pick up on something until like last night, Sunday night.
I basically only had time to play on Sunday afternoon, and I continued my Baldur's Gate run. And last night, like Pascal walked into the office just as I had my last romance scene with Shadowheart. And he had told me like she was the softest scene, like of all of them. And he walks in, he's like, wait, this is spicy. And he was just randomly wanting to ask me something. He's like, why is this spicy? I'm like, oh, because I had her kill a Night Song. I was like, this is an evil run, my guy. This is the evil, traumatized Shadowheart. It's not, apparently you don't get the same sex scene with her.
Whoa. Okay.
Depending on if you're like, get her like, I'm sorry if it's slightly spoilers, but the game's been out since 2023. But essentially with Shadowheart, you can keep going with Shar, or she goes with Selune in this run because I'm doing Dark Urges. I'm letting Asteria like ascend. I was like at Shadowheart, I was like, let's go be evil. I'm telling Gale, he's like, maybe I could take control of the Netherese crown. I'm like, of course you should, bud. Nothing can go wrong. What are you talking about? So yeah, I'm getting different scenes because I'm a bit more evil.
That's fun.
It is fun. Yeah, because I'm towards like I was saying last week, I'm towards the end. Finishing all the extra companion quests, and because I did I was not a good person in the Shadowlands, I don't have Jaheira, so it's not like I have a lot of companions that finish their quests. Some of them did not make it.
No.
But that's all right, because that's the point of Baldur's Gate, is no two runs are the same. But yeah, that's all I did. And before we were set to record, I was gonna go in the underwater prison, try to, I don't know, my intention is to save people. We'll
truly?
See how
that is truly your intention?
Catherine's intention is I remember this quest. You take the submarine, you go into the other underwater prison, you find another ally that's got kidnapped, and you help these people, and then you can help them. And you can go back to where they make the robot guards for the city, and it's easier to take down Gortash if you do that's Catherine. Arthur the monk, who has embraced his dark urges and is half illithid. Who knows what that motherfucker will do?
That's what makes it interesting.
It is true.
Yeah.
He's probably tired of helping people. Sometimes you just gotta go dark monk and be like, F this. I'm just gonna revenge.
I was given these gifts. I'm currently punching so hard that I one-shot or two-shot people. He's basically One Punch Man if you were evil.
Amazing.
I'm like, this is so fun. I love this game. I love how, just like a D&D game, it is completely different every time. But yeah, that's my little update of just wow, things really took a turn since last week, guys. And all I played was a few hours.
Well, I mean, even you telling us as you play through this each week, and you're like, yeah, I haven't really done anything dark yet, and then you just opened a can of worms.
I think when I got to the point of making some of the bigger decisions, because I'm in Act 3, and then I gotta steer towards these final decisions.
Yeah.
I've been yeah. I went into the Temple of Baal, and they're like, hey, if you kill this random dude, you'll be our chosen. I was like, say less.
Let chaos reign, Kat. Chaos reign.
Yeah.
Joelle, what are you playing?
I was still playing Woolhaven and Cult of the Lamb. But apparently, if all your followers die and you have no cult, you also game over. So
yes.
I was like, oh, that happened. That wasn't totally my fault, but it also was my fault. But I was like, oh, I'm a bad cult leader. So I switched. I just took a little bit of a break because I have no people to manipulate, and I picked up the demo for Darwin's Paradox, which is the game where you play as a little squid. I think it's an octopus. An octopus. And then you are sneaky and try to not get caught on stuff. And it really reminded me of the art style was kind of like a Monsters Inc. if it was in real life, where they had the humans wore these goopy suits, the suits, the yellow suits when they're oh no, it was the monsters when the monsters were human and they run around so the humans wore suits like that with the goofy mouths and stuff. And it was pretty fun. The music was fun. The demo wasn't too long. It was I think I only played for about half hour.
Okay.
And I think there was some really fun mechanics off the bat, some really creative things. Whereas you obviously don't want to get caught, and you can only go left or right, up or down, right? And so you are the visuals really help tell the story, and they're very engaging. So there was times where you were just kind of either rolling across the ground, and you can stick to everything. So you can stick to sidewalls, the ceiling, so you can utilize all of the area to move around. which is
that's
fun.
Cool.
Yeah, which is really fun. So it helps with some that probably makes for some really interesting puzzle solving later. And to avoid enemies and to get into secret rooms, you can like go up on the ceiling or try to like you can jump, and so you can try to like jump and like stick to things. And then you also can go. You know how they have a really great camouflage system, so you can camouflage, and if you like are seen, you can camouflage, and that helps you de-aggro.
Like a chameleon?
Yeah. Because like octopuses, like they have great camouflage. That's like how they.
Oh, neat. I didn't know
Yes.
that.
So so they incorporated that, and then also they have their ink, and you go into water quite a bit in the demo, and you have to avoid cameras or like being spotted by enemies, and you can shoot a cloud of ink out to avoid it. So they really utilized some fun mechanics that kind of lends itself like to the natural, talents of the octopus. Also, it was this really fun sequence where you had to like climb up, and you would have the octopus like wrap its arms around two posts and like slingshot itself up forward to climb like a zigzag climb up. So you'd like it would he would like spring back and then like shoot forward like a um what do you call those things, like where you pull the rock back and you like go
Slingshot.
A slingshot. Did I say that already? This post massage.
No, you said you were really close.
Yeah, slingshot. So it was fun. It was fun. I'm looking forward to the full game. I think it'll be a good one to like just kind of take back and chill, and it's not that like it's fun and it's not so serious, but it is still like you obviously don't want to get caught, because then you automatically die. And there must be some sort of like plot to it where like you're actually like an alien octopus, because you get calls from your other octopus friends and like get quests and like stuff. I don't know. Like it's really,
Okay.
I was like, oh, there's way more to this than just like you are just trying to survive. Like there's going to be some sort of overarching like story of you're trying to gain information for the sake of your alien race. I don't know.
Was it a good enough demo that now you're intrigued in playing the full game?
I think so. Yeah. Like I think I'd pick it up and I would play through it. I think it's going to be really fun. It's going to be one of those games where you're going to be able to play and get through an area, and then if you don't want to finish it, you can like put it down or pick it back up. So it's going to be one of those things where if you want to just be more sneaky puzzle focused type of game, then that will be like a good thing to dip in and out of. Or if you want to just go for the full thing, then you can do that. And it's not. It did remind me of playing Inside, but it's not scary. Like Inside was scary. I didn't like it. So, but the puzzles were pretty good. Like from the jump. So I was actually impressed at all the other mechanics that you had to do to solve. And the octopus is really cute, and the sound effects are really fun. Like when he's walking, it's like shoop, 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 shoop,
nice,
shoop, like sucking, and then when you jump, he's like shoop, like squishy and
I love that.
It is really good. So I am looking forward to picking that up, and
the people who worked on the audio folly must have had a lot of fun.
I think
the sound design.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah. I feel like we all had a little bit of dark in our video games this past week, between Kat with Baldur's Gate 3 and her run, and Joelle with Cult of the Lamb. I started Dredge last night.
Nice.
So I can't tell you too much yet, because it was just like the intro. And the reason I started was kind of out there. So story, little bit. Mike and I have some time away planned this week. Birthday on Friday. I am a firm believer you don't work on your birthday. So I always take the day off, and then Mike and I were like, let's go do something. So we rented a chalet in Prince Edward County. So we're going to do that, which is going to be fun. And I really wanted to have like a game to play. So I had been playing the Cast and Chill, and I was like, I'm kind of on a fishing game kick. So let's go see. Dredge was on sale. So I went and picked it up. But then last week, when they had that announcement about what we anticipated was coming on Friday anyway, the Pokemon Direct tied to the 30th anniversary. And they announced what seemed like being, I don't think they intended on this coming out last week. I think there was an accident where it showed up on the e-store and they actually wanted to announce this on Friday. But it actually worked out really well for Mike and I. So I was on the console setting stuff up so that I could take my old Switch and assign that to Mike so that he and I are now both prepared, me with a copy of Pokemon Leaf Green and him with a copy of Fire Red. And when we're away, we're going to play Pokemon together.
Fun.
So I'm really excited about that because I was like, what am I going to do? Because like I didn't want to pick up anything too crazy because Pokepia is coming out the following week and that's going to eat up my life as of like, I don't know how I'm going to work on Friday, but I only have a short week, so I better work on Friday. Oh, man. It's a fun problem to have. Too many video games coming out. And when you least expect it, then saying, hey, let's shadow drop a game you haven't played in about 30 years.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a video game podcast. So let's play a podcast game about video games. Today, I am your game master. And in honor of the close of the Olympics, we're going to be playing Pixel Olympic Trivia. I've got sports game trivia for you ladies. 5 questions on the docket, all related to the Olympics and sports video games. Are you ready?
Indeed.
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay. Everything is multiple choice, okay?
Oh, good.
All right. First question. Which sports game franchise has sold the most copies worldwide? Is it Madden NFL, FIFA/EA Sports FC, NBA 2K, or Wii Sports?
I'm going to say Wii Sports.
My mind immediately went to FIFA, but worldwide, I am also going to say Wii Sports.
You are both correct. It is Wii Sports.
Wii Sports?
Wii Sports. And I mean, like, you can't, like, a pack-in is, like, perfect. It's the easiest way to get a game into people's hands. And I mean, who are we kidding? It was a tech demo, but hey, it worked. We liked it.
The best tech demo.
Yep. Question number 2. What was the first officially licensed Olympic video game? Was it Olympic Gold Barcelona 92, Track and Field, Olympic Summer Games from 1996, or the Games Winter Challenge?
Isn't Olympic Summer Games the one with like Mario and Sonic? I'm going to say that one.
I'm going to say Track and Field.
Ladies, it is actually Olympic Gold Barcelona 92.
Oh.
The very first officially licensed Olympic video game.
Was Track and Field licensed? Maybe it wasn't licensed.
It probably wasn't licensed. It was probably just like a... yeah. I don't even remember when it came out.
I remember playing that game, and then when we were doing like the long jump, we were, little tykes and playing it at my uncle's house, and my uncle would stand behind us and we would run and then we would jump and he would like lift us up so that our jumps would be longer, and then he would put us back down and we would like get the record.
Nice. I love that.
Nice. We're like, oh, we can't jump that high, and he's like, hold on, and he'd like lift us up and just hold us in the air and then like set us back down.
Nice.
That was funny.
Question number 3. What year did the FIFA series begin? 1992, 1993, 1994, or 1995? 92, 93, 94, 95.
I'm going to say 95? Question mark?
When did it start?
Yeah.
I'm just going to say 94.
Off by a year, Joelle. It was 1993.
Oh, 93.
Oh, yeah.
Aww. 93.
Question number 4. The first Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games released on which console? Was it the Nintendo Wii, the Nintendo DS, the GameCube, or the Wii U?
I think it's the Wii U.
The
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games released first on which console? Nintendo Wii, Nintendo DS, GameCube, or Wii U?
You don't think it was the GameCube?
I think it's the Wii or the Wii U.
I don't think it's the DS. That seems like a weird.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the GameCube.
Okay. Catherine?
Wii U.
You both got it wrong. It was the Wii.
Oh.
I remember when they announced that one. I think maybe, Kat, what you're remembering is I have a vivid memory of us going to a Nintendo event with Girls on Games in Montreal, and the Wii U game was there.
I think so. I think it was the Wii U version.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I remember us playing that at a event.
But I didn't realize it was like a reissue.
Because Wii U, I don't know if it was a reissue or not, if it was just like a different year, right? Tied to a different year of the Olympics, right? Because, I don't remember what year it would have been. And I think it would have been a summer one too, because I think I remember the cover of it of them like running Sonic and Mario or something like that. Question number 5, last one for this round of Pixel Olympic trivia. What arcade sports game is famous for the phrase, "He's on fire"? Was it NBA Jam, NFL Blitz, Tecmo Bowl, or Street Hoops?
NBA Jam.
Yeah, NBA Jam.
That's right.
I played too much of that shit to not remember.
my brother played it, so I remember it from that. Yeah.
Insert the audio. He's on fire.
He's on fire.
Boom shakalaka.
I always played the Bulls because you had the little guy and the big guy.
Yeah, you gotta play the Bulls.
You gotta play the Bulls.
Gotta play the Bulls.
Ladies, that was fun. But now we're going to have to get serious and look at what happened in the video game industry last week. I'm calling it the week the industry shifted, and I think there's good reason. We're going to get into that right after this break. All right, we're back. The week the industry shifted is what we kind of just experienced. It was like someone hit fast forward on the entire scene. And ladies, in sitting down and trying to wrap my head around everything that happened, because, we all had to work normal lives and then would come home or check up something on social or check our Discord channel. And there was another huge news break. Yeah. We didn't know if we were coming or going. So finally on Saturday, when I sat down and got a full scope of what was going on, I was like, we're just going to have to talk about this in chronological order. And we're not going to cover everything because Pokemon, we'll leave it till next week.
Yeah.
We kind of mentioned it a little bit already. There was also an interview between Todd Howard and Greg Miller about Elder Scrolls 6. And that happened. But, I feel like the 4 stories that we do have to cover are so mind-blowing. I figure it's just stuff we kind of need to talk through piece by piece.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to go on this journey with me?
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Or relive this journey, this week we just had?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like this all kind of started on Tuesday. I might be wrong here, but I feel like this is where, the news story started to break. So the very first one comes around, and the article that I have is from VG Charts. And also in a whole bunch of other magazines like CG Magazine Online, talking about similar things. And it all comes down to the shortage that we're seeing in RAM due to AI and what impacts that's having in the video game sector. And one of the big things that is in the rumor mill right now is that PlayStation 6 may potentially be delayed from what the original release timing was going to be. We may be sitting with a PS5 for a little bit longer. And this might not just be a PlayStation 6 problem. It could also be a Steam Deck problem and the Steam gaming console we're supposed to be getting. And maybe seeing another ramp up in different consoles costing more money, like the Nintendo Switch 2, considering how hard it is to get the parts right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, whoa.
Yeah.
We've actually come to this point. Mike's looking at buying a gaming PC, and I literally told him, we probably won't wait for your birthday. We probably have to get it now.
Yeah, I would get it. I would get
Honestly,
anything. Yeah, as soon as if you're thinking about that, having to upgrade, or if you're on the fence, like, I would do it now. It's now. It's now. Like, now's the time, right now. Like, just do it. Just do it.
Stop waiting. Spend money.
Just
do it now.
Yeah, just do it.
It's going to cost you more later.
It will. Yeah, it will. It will.
Yeah. And I mean, like, along with all of this that was happening was also the Supreme Court justice saying that tariffs, some of them were illegal, and that's still causing more chaos with the U.S. and
It's
other
all
countries.
illegal. The whole
And
thing's
then
illegal.
there's the AI of it all and the RAM shortage. So, yeah.
And that won't get better. It is not going to get better.
It's going to be a weird time. I even shared a potential build that my husband was interested in our Discord channel, and thank God for you folks in there, mentioning that it's probably not enough RAM, which is probably why that build, I think, cost as much as what my gaming PC when I bought 2 years ago, and yet I have more RAM.
Yeah, so. It was the virtual RAM on the graphics card. That was not enough. Yeah. It was an 8 gigabyte virtual RAM graphics card. You want at least 16 for racing sims.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he really does want to play a lot more racing sims, including Forza Horizon.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll be waiting to see on that.
It's kind of wild because, like, the PS5 came out 2020?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, PS5 and Xbox Series X and S came out in 2020 when we were in the peak of COVID.
Yes, because I remember, like, I think I got it, like, in that November timeframe. And 2028 or 2029, and, like, that long, and I just don't know. I mean, I honestly, it's just like, what is it going to even be at that point? Because it's 2 years away, and, like, we're kind of in this weird gap of, like, moving parts, as we'll keep talking about. So I just also think, like, that is an amazing, like, shift. It wasn't even like a year. It was just like, okay, no, we're pushing it like a significant amount of time to figure out how we're going to deliver this hardware. If they're going to deliver, I don't know. I guess a part of me is like, all bets are off at this point. Like, who knows if they'll come out with new hardware? I don't know. Like,
and it was always crazy at the launch of a console, because as we do this podcast, and I know I love buying tech as soon as it comes out if I can. I have an opportunity to do so. And it was always a mad dash to try and get a console, and it's usually because that's the people who are the first adopters that want to jump in heads first, that are ready to go, and they understand that they might be getting something that later they have like an upgrade version that's better, or it's going to be at the time the most expensive it's going to ever be. Yeah, that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to jump on it from the beginning to get it as cheap as it's ever going to be.
Yeah. Well, and I just wondered, like, for me, do I just now bite the bullet and get a Pro, get a PS Pro? Because, like, I've had it for that long, and I'm like, well, if I'm gonna be gaming on this for another 2 years with what else is coming out, like, do I trade in, or, like, do I don't know. So that also has pushed me into, well, do I just go for the Pro now? Like, because I'm gonna get a good chunk out of it. I don't know, but
I mean, just the fact that the Steam Deck is like going out of stock.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard anything about this new Valve console. Like, nothing. All they started talking is like, here's what the device is supposed to be spec-wise, and what it kind of looks like. But we know nothing about how much it might cost and when we can potentially buy it. Right now, it's a pipe dream. So God only knows. Continuing down wild news, we've been following Highguard, the game that was announced at the tail end of the Game Awards, for, kind of seeing its trajectory. We didn't know anything about it until that moment when Jeff had put it on as the very last and one more news bite at the end, or one more announcement, got introduced to this new game. They ended up launching in January, and then in February, around the 12th, we found out via a bunch of different news outlets that the developer had laid off the majority of its staff after a lackluster launch. That was probably around the 12th of February. And then last week, one wild action, because even though like people were wondering like what's going to happen with this game, they kept a few of their team members in order to continue keeping the game afloat. All of a sudden, their website went down. And everybody's like, what the heck is going on?
I feel like Jeff couldn't save this game.
Oh.
In the sense that people around me that played it didn't get why they should play Highguard instead of the shooter game they're already playing. If you're already knee deep into Arc Raiders, if you're already like heavy into Valorant, if you already got like a set Overwatch group, like a lot of them played them and it was like they had nothing wrong to say about it or nothing like vehemently like negative to say about it, but they didn't have anything great to say about it either. And I think that's the problem. I think in an oversaturated online game market, you can't just be okay. Good is not good enough. What do you have that's different? Which problem other games aren't solving are you solving? Which type of gamer are you catering to? And if you make generic gun game, then you're not going to find success. So I don't think Highguard would have made it, to be honest. I think Jeff's shout out made it so that they got like a nice launch, but I think once people started playing it, they were like, okay, but what else? What now?
So the website is back up and running as of now.
Okay.
But it was down for quite a while. I remember team members posting about it like midday in the Discord channel. And then by the end of the day, when I was like scrolling through at 5 o'clock on my subway ride home, and I was like, wow, it's still down. It was kind of crazy to see. It doesn't make you want to go and try the game. It's a free-to-play model, so it costs you nothing to give it a go, right? You just got to sign up for whatever account and make your character and whatever, download the game, however big it is. But it doesn't instill you wanting to invest additional money. And it sounds like a free-to-play game, considering all the things you just talked about, Kat, is a really hard thing to get off the ground.
It truly is. It truly is. It's just, and I was chatting with it in another Discord. They came out with an article saying like that most gamers will buy like maybe 2 new games a year. And for me, it feels like, gaming is a mature hobby, a bit like how reading or watching movies, it's just something people do, right? And I think a lot of people have now their comfort watches. I think they have their comfort plays. And it's like a mix of this is my comfort play, but also the sunk cost fallacy. Like I put a lot of time and effort into this game and I have a lot of unlocks and maybe I even bought some with real money. So there's a reason why people kind of like venture back to World of Warcraft suddenly, or once every 2 years, like I'll see my spouse likes back into Final Fantasy 14 and, or into WoW, stuff that he's been playing on and off for the past, 20 years. But I don't really see him trying that many new online games. I think something like, Helldivers 2 was like, because we looked at Arc Raiders and we're like, cute. But we're not, we're not that kind of gamer. So, it's really unfortunate, but most launches will look like Highguard and not like Arc Raiders. Is what you have to,
that scene. Yeah.
In the free to play type thing. If you don't have your niche, if you don't have your shtick, it's just going to be like, cool story, brah.
Yeah. I find that it's probably the hardest thing to attempt to shadow drop something like that. Or and it's not even that. It wasn't even really shadow dropped. Like we didn't hear anything about the game
Mm-mm.
essentially until like just before the launch, after we saw that. And one more thing, in the Game Awards, I feel like it would not have saved it, but I feel like it wouldn't have been as crazy of a idea and maybe would have more of a slow build and less so much attention on it, and attention in the negative way, if it had been it's part of the normal show, not the last thing. Like, I feel like they should have put something else there. And that's why I wrote in this document, and I know we talked about it before, did Jeff Neely kill this game? But I feel like they would have had a little bit extra wiggle room if the spotlight wasn't being put on it quite that level.
Yeah, because they really put like all their. I was like, well, they really like placed a big bet on that, and it just didn't. It didn't. I don't know. And I just didn't know if like the art style. Also, wondering is it feels like really different from a lot of other. Because like you have a gun, but you have a sword, and I mean, I know that Halo has it, but it's more like in the fantasy, high fantasy, like with a mount. I don't know. I also kind of like look at it and I'm like, what is this? Like, where is this grounded in? Like, what am I playing? And I don't know. I also think that like Arc Raiders wasn't free to play. You had to put a little bit down for the base, which I think on some level like helps you maybe a little bit, because mentally it's like I had to pay for this, so I kind of want to see if I can get my money's worth out of it. So I think sometimes even a free to play sometimes can be a harder thing to try to, just like you said, they like really launch out of the gate strong, because I don't know, but I guess like when I'm looking at this game, I'm just like, who like, why wouldn't you just go play Fortnite? I don't know. Like,
exactly.
and that also has like relevant pop culture references in it too. Like, I'm not sure who was this genre, like who was this targeted?
It's just there was nothing special about it. There was nothing wrong about it. There was nothing special about it. I think Jeff was just like, yo, this is cool. I'll shout somebody out, and it's a smaller developer and whatever. I think that shout out made it that we saw that instead of them like crashing quietly, everybody's looking at them in slow-mo crash their games. And even like in today's industry, even if you have a successful launch, they announce layoffs as soon as they launch the game. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Well, there may be a trend on this whole, games as service that they're trying to do, and what that means for the trajectory of some of the other parts of the video game industry. The other big one that hit us on Thursday was that Sony was shutting down Bluepoint. So,
successful studio still getting shut down is basically the follow-up story.
Well, I think there's also some mismanagement in this involved. So to give you guys a little bit of history, Bluepoint is well known for doing a lot of remakes. They made the Shadow of Colossus remake. They made the Demon Souls remake. They've done very well for themselves in doing that and being an independent studio. And then back in 2021, Sony decided, well, they do such good remakes of our properties, let's just acquire them. So then they did. From 2021 until now, Bluepoint hasn't released a game. Not one. They were rumored to be working on a God of War game, but not your traditional God of War, a live service God of War. That got canceled, probably because it went in development hell. And while they were trying to figure out their next thing, Sony decided to shut the studio down. And in turn, 70 game devs have lost their jobs. I don't know why Sony thought that a game studio that is pedigree is in doing remakes and things like that, and no shade to that. I think it's important that we're, going through that process and making sure that we're keeping game preservation alive and bringing these experiences and upping the gamut on them. But to think that they were the team to work on a live service game? Choices.
I don't know. I just think like, they want to be Capcom. Like, I don't know. Like it seems why didn't you just let them be? I don't know. Like, why can't people just let some things be?
There's so many other games that they could have remade.
Yes.
And would have sold gangbusters. Imagine if we had a Bloodborne remake.
Yes. We all want it. We've been asking for it forever.
They could have made bank off that, and they probably could have had it out by now, if not a heck of a lot sooner.
We got 2 more years on this console. Fucking give us Bloodborne.
Yeah. It honestly, it feels like it was a good idea in theory, but in practice, they were like, wait, we don't really have more games to give them to remake yet. Or am I like, why isn't this studio doing the remakes for all the God of Wars and whatever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, they have stuff to remake. I just don't...
Why were they working on a gas game that was doomed to fail from the beginning? Like,
and we've seen this umpteen times. Look at what happened with Redfall. Look what happened with Concord.
Yeah.
I wonder if there was like... So in my crazy brain, I think like, I wonder if there was some sort of like personal... like some personal vendetta against it where they're like, okay, we're going to give you a game so that we can personally get rid of you. I don't know. Like in my salty mind, I'm just like, I wonder if that was just like on purpose. Like,
well, we know everybody is chasing, all the game studios or all the big companies are chasing that, game as service model, right?
Yeah.
And Sony was really pushing it. But I mean, like, look, like we're still waiting on Marathon to come out by Bungie. And I mean, if there's anybody that knows how to do a live service game, you'd think it'd be Bungie after Destiny.
You'd think.
Right?
You'd think.
And we're supposed to get Marathon sometime soon, right?
Sometime.
Didn't we just see a date not too long ago?
We did.
March?
I feel like.
Is it March or May?
Soon.
I feel like it's May. Marathon. Internet says. Marathon. Game. I gotta put in game. Because it doesn't know.
Not the race, not the foot race.
March 5th. Oh my God, it's the same day as Pocapia and the same day as Timberborn. It's a big day.
Mistake. Oh no.
It's a big day. It's a big day.
I mean, do their audiences overlap?
Probably not.
I mean, for
maybe. I guess not. Good point.
I mean, for my game, for Honor, we know which type of games our players want. So, like, when we see something like Marathon, we're like, okay, see you in 2 weeks. Have fun storming the castle.
See you in 2 weeks.
And then we announce a new hero, and they come back, and we're like, did you have fun?
Yeah.
They're like, yes, we're here for Jurin.
But I don't think anybody anticipated that.
No.
They would be the next studio gone.
No.
No, it's... If anything, the trends have showed us, like, successful studio, layoffs. Terrible studio, layoffs plus closures. Mid studio, layoffs and closures. It's just like, it's... I feel like as individual contributors, there's nothing we're doing wrong. This is like out of our hands.
It's okay. For us, the idea is that if we believe in something, we should be supporting the developers by purchasing their game.
Yeah.
But that doesn't even
doesn't do anything.
In a lot of cases.
Matter.
It doesn't matter. We might start buying their game, and we as, commentators, whatever you want to call us, pundits, we'll speak to the games that we think deserve a look-see, a test, to be heard by our audience that we think would also appreciate similar things that we like to play. And it's like that. None of that stuff matters.
No, because like they'll close you'll like, I'll buy this game to support them because I believe in this developer and I believe in this game. They'll still close the game and shut down the servers.
Yeah. Even if
if you're lucky, you reimburse some of your in-game purchases.
Yeah, like Hi-Fi Rush, which I guess Bluepoint couldn't really do and get reacquired by somebody else because it's not like they have an IP that's their own, right? They've been working on and rebuilding other people's stuff. So it's not like they have an IP that they can essentially like go and say, okay, fine, now let's have somebody else pick us up, right? Or they have to start from scratch, which maybe what'll happen, which sucks.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah. And then to close it off for the week.
Oh my God.
We got the sudden news, via IGN that Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox Gaming, was retiring on Monday, today, the 23rd of February. Sarah Bond, who we anticipated was his second in command, going to take the mantle, gone. And they have new leadership. Microsoft Gaming CEO is now Asha Sharma, and the new Xbox Chief Content Officer is Matt Booty. We knew Matt Booty because he was in the mix of everything before, but Asha Sharma is a brand new person to us in the video game industry. She comes from the Core AI team, and this news was just delivered in such the weirdest way. Apparently, this was all planned. They've been talking about Phil Spencer's retirement for a while now, and it was supposed to happen today, but maybe they were just going to like shadow drop it or something like that. And just like he's done today, which probably would have been chaos as well too, instead of just like done on Friday. But apparently IGN had a story and they were going to announce it. So they decided to rush it out the door, to the point that even like Sarah Bond's team that handles her social media had said nothing on it for the longest time. They just had like a LinkedIn post talking about something that was going on with accessibility at Xbox. And then, yeah, Phil Spencer had his piece thanking people and, you know, mentioning Sarah Bond. Both Matt Booty, well, definitely Asha Sharma had posts as well. Nobody mentioned Sarah Bond. And then Sarah Bond's post came out later in the day. Of her reflecting on her time and thanking people. Holy sweet mother of pearl, that is not the news that we anticipated. I took everybody by storm. It came like mid-afternoon, too, on a Friday, which was so weird.
Yeah, it was like... I almost like thought I was being punked. I mean, I was kind of like... I was like, what?
It's
like,
not April Fool's yet. We're not that far in the year yet.
What is this? And then I almost was like, yeah, right. I think I saw it and I was like, okay. Like I was like, this isn't real because I'm so over it. And then it like kept coming and I was like, what the fuck? I was just like, what is happening?
So the shock was definitely reverberated across the industry, you know, kind of just watching, and like it was such a slow trickle of information at the beginning too, because we just had that news story and then more stuff started to come out. I mean, I have never seen the video game industry kind of jump on a news story like you would a big event in the normal news world, like they did. Kind of Funny finished their Kind of Funny Games Daily, was going to go and do live video game streaming, and came back for a second Kind of Funny Games Daily just talking about it.
Well, yeah, they'd have to. Yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
Right, exactly. I mean, it's what they do best. But it just felt so weird. It felt so odd that they said this has been planned for a while. This is the 25th anniversary of Xbox.
Yeah. This is weird. Like, this is weird.
We've had, like, maybe the tiniest little kind of celebration about it. We had that direct a little bit ago, tail end of January. We knew there was lots of good games coming this year. Phil himself has been with the company for 35 years.
Yeah.
He took them out of the Xbox One hell. You know what I mean? When it was just a TV box and people were yelling at it.
Yep.
I'm sure not everybody liked maybe some of the directions they were going in, but if you were Xbox, like, I don't know where you could have turned besides coming up with something like Game Pass and things like that, right? And expanding and trying to grow the potential user base through other avenues like mobile gaming, cloud gaming.
Well, even backwards compatibility. I mean, like Phil had that visionary of like, we want games more accessible, and like we want them more accessible from the past now, and we want you to have more accessibility to Xbox games even if you don't have one, because like Game Pass, I immediately I was like, oh yeah, like I'll do that right away, because I think I bought a used 360. Otherwise, I've never owned any Xbox stuff, but I've wanted to play the games. And now that it was just like, oh, you can do that now, I was like, yeah, like I'm 100% on board with that. I just don't know if they like just went too hog wild with it with this like day one on Game Pass. But like, I mean, the revolutionary of it all. And then it's just like all of a sudden in 2 days, he's like, okay, bye. Like, I just think that there was something else was happening in the background, that either a deal couldn't get made, a vision couldn't come to fruition, people weren't on board. And then Microsoft was like, okay, we're going to clean house. Like, we're going to clean house and put in new people that will execute what we want. And that's just what we're going to do. And it just was said. So it also like feels kind of icky. Like,
it does.
It feels icky because it's like, I know Phil. I've seen Phil for so long, even though I wasn't as deep into Xbox, but it's just like, I know him. And I like him, and then it's all of a sudden like he's gone, and then also Bond's gone, and it's just, I don't know. I'm just like, this feels like very icky. Makes me uncomfy. I don't like it.
Yeah, the fact that Sarah just left out of nowhere too.
Yeah, I just don't. But just me thinks that there's something afoot.
It feels, well, for Sarah, it feels like the glass cliff. To be honest, it also feels like, to me, a lot of the direction of Xbox was like towards innovation, towards trying these things like Game Pass. I know that this is an Xbox. The campaign was a bit weird, but I think the message of it was really good about being like, hey, we're going to make these games accessible, and it's going to be easy. You don't have to buy them or whatever. You can rent them. You can just stream them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it became twofold. One, it was like, I don't think the innovation didn't hit. I think the streaming market changed a lot, and it's not like, even for media, it's not about accessibility anymore. It's about like finding which service has the fucking show you want. And now it's like pushing people towards pirating again.
Yeah, I've seen lots of articles about that, because there's just so many different services and hard to keep it straight, and who has what. And I think, oh my God, Mike and I just did a budget for it, and I think we were spending close to like $300 in subscription services.
This is wild.
It is it's hog wild. Like, it's out of control. And I think that's splashing towards Game Pass. And now these gaming services are supposed to like somehow compete with that, or have pricing that resembles like that, and I think Microsoft came in and was like, y'all got to make more money. We want more money. Just make more money.
Make more
and we're
money.
like, we gave Game Pass, I don't know, 5 years. It's not making enough money. And I think that's the issue, because nothing is in a vacuum. Like, I love how Game Pass kind of forced like PlayStation and Nintendo to look at their own services and look into it and see what they can do. Have cloud gaming, stuff like that. But I think because of like the situation of like just streaming in general, but also like people are now pissed that games are getting closed off and everything, and servers turns off, and it's like game ownership used to be you have the disc, you have the game. Now it's not the case anymore. All of these consoles need you to be online all the time. And with the state of the world, people are losing internet connection, infrastructure, access. So I think people are shifting back towards like just physical media. Like, even I used to be like the biggest like Game Pass fangirl. Now I'm like fucking borrowing games from my friends again. Like, it's 1995. And, like walking to the library, just like, y'all got PS5 games or Xbox games? So yeah, I think it's that shift. And it feels like Phil was set to retire. And because Microsoft was just like, we're not happy with this leadership and the results you gave us, we want you out. And Phil was probably like, well, I'm going to retire. And then they just kind of like pushed Sarah Bond off the cliff. And they're just like, let these assholes run this company. And it's just like, I don't think you need to be a gamer to run Xbox, but I think you need to be in tune with the industry and what's happening. And I don't know if these new people are it.
Well, Matt Booty would, because Matt Booty's made, like he's been part of this team for a while, but kind of like the trifecta that they were doing that you were kind of seeing was like Phil being a gamer and, being passionate about games just as much as he's, the head of the company. And that's mostly because he's kind of worked his way up through. But I always looked at Sarah as the kind of strategy person when it comes to the
marketing and
marketing
business
and all that, and the business side, and then Matt is the creative because he was head of studios, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now they've got someone coming in, which could be a blessing and a curse, right? Someone coming in who's a fresh set of eyes to look at this in a different way. And I mean, she's worked at a bunch of different places. I think Instacart and Meta and a bunch of so she's coming in with experience from different areas, which I appreciate because maybe that's something we need because sometimes we gamers like to nasal gave a little bit and just talk about ourselves, but maybe not have creative solutions to get us out of the predicament we're in. But at the same time, like you said, Kat, you need to have some kind of idea of what you're stepping yourself into, what the the industry wide and what you're coming at from. I bet you her social has never seen more interaction over the past 3 years as it has yesterday and the weekend, because she started tweeting and stuff, talking about asking for game suggestions and she did make some statements talking about where she sees things going right now. They kind of are giving off the vibe that Xbox is not doing good and they need to right the ship, right?
Yeah.
And she's talking about no slop AI and all that kind of stuff, and I'm great, say it, show it.
Yeah. They're saying all the right things, but it's just, I mean, I think on some level it's we know that people will say the right things but then do all the other opposite. So I'm just I don't care what you're saying right now. I want to see what you're gonna do. I honestly don't. I don't care what you say. I want to see what you're gonna do about it, because you can say one thing and then do the opposite. So I want to know where this is going, but I don't know. It's I don't want to be a doom and gloom, but it seems like this is just gonna be where is this going? What is happening to Xbox? It's just what's going on?
But then you've got to wonder, is it doing that bad? Are we potentially losing one of at what point do they kill Xbox and it's just Microsoft gaming, right? Then at that point, it's not like they can put the cat back in the bag for Game Pass.
No.
Game Pass is out there. Game Pass has done everything, and now we've got Netflix doing it. We got freaking PlayStation doing it. Nintendo's got its version of it with the online expansion pass and the old stuff in the GameCube,
which is also
and
crazy
Nintendo,
expensive.
That is crazy expensive, but that also was very smart.
They put it. That's $20 a year, and you have that's not true. $20 for your for the normal plan, and then if you want the expansion pack on top of it to have access to all those older stuff, is more expensive.
Yes, it's per console. So you get $20 for online play, and then the basic NES, and then if you want to go to Game Boy and all this other stuff, you have to pay more.
And it's per console.
It's per console.
Dang.
Yeah.
I never really wanted to go back and
really
play
fast.
like that.
Yeah.
So I don't think they can escape that what they've created, but I also think that that's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it's other stuff. Maybe it's all this stuff going after live service and everybody thinking that that's what everybody wants. But maybe that's not what everybody wants.
Unless Xbox starts getting into they kind of have moved away from hardware, but PC gaming is looking like I think that's where the tide is rolling.
Well, it could be, but how do you get people off of Steam? People are so entrenched, just like we were talking about with Highguard. People are so entrenched in the ecosystems that they've been playing in for years. Epic Games has to release free games in order to make people jump over onto their launcher.
Mm-hmm. I guess I just feel Phil was such a staple that it's just what are you gonna do now?
It's like having Reggie leave.
Yes, that's how it feels. It's what are you
and
gonna
that
do
seemed
now?
kind of amicable. He was ready to go on to something else.
Yeah,
he also retired.
Yeah, he also retired. That was fairly amicable, I think.
Yeah, even Major Nelson retired and stepped away from the industry, and I felt like that was honored. I feel like that's the missing part. We haven't had an opportunity to essentially honor Phil Spencer and even Sarah Bond for what she was able to do, right?
Yeah.
And say, thank you very much. It may not have worked out, or you guys did all of this, and thank you. Let's move on to the next thing. Instead, it feels like they're essentially just trying to sweep it under the rug and move on to the next thing because they're terrified and money's not rolling the way it should be.
Well, and it would be a wise message to say thank you. Yeah, thank you for your service. Look at all you've done. Now we're looking like the messaging. That's why I still think something happened pretty quickly because the messaging isn't good of around like it's around like where are you going? She's didn't say a whole lot. And I just want to be like, what is your next chapter? You don't know.
She doesn't know.
You do not know because something happened so fast. And like, I think Leah, like you're totally right of like, it would feel better, like from a consumer's perspective of like, yes, this was one era of Xbox and now we're moving into a different era and this is what it's going to look like. And I think that would be like, okay, like then we're going to, I don't know, but it just feels like something happened. It didn't go well. And now we're just being shoved into this new direction. And
imagine if it didn't go down like it went down on Friday, and instead today we would be hearing this news now and having to get on here and record.
Ugh. We'd be like, talk about it next week.
Yeah. It's like, good Lord, this is happening and we don't know what's going on.
Ugh. Yeah.
All right. So it was a week between potential delays in where we're going with the next consoles, games having their downfall, studios being shut down, and now major strategic alignment changes at one of the big three. It was a week.
I just want to bookend it by saying, get your hardware. Again, go get your hardware.
Where do we go from here, ladies?
Where do we go from here?
Yeah. I hope AI dies in a fire.
I want gaming to be fun. Yeah. I'm really excited about Pokemon Day. I'm excited to sit down and play with my husband. I'm excited about next Friday. There's a slew of games on the roster to come out. And it's just like, ugh. I hate all the rest of it. When the bad news. I just want to be celebrating good creative shit people are making.
I know.
Too many companies and like right now the entertainment industry is like, we're an industry. We got to make money. And I'm just like, but your money comes from fun. None of this shit is fun.
Yeah.
And I hope people learn from stuff like Heated Rivalry. It's just like, we gave people what they wanted. And it made gangbusters. It's just we respected the long-term fans. We respected the source material. We respected the type of entertainment this is. We respected the established audience. Gaming needs to do that. If Heated Rivalry can make like the series and TV industry look at themselves and be like, oh shit, we didn't tap into that and we're not making fun shit anymore. I think the gaming industry needs a Heated Rivalry shakeup, just something that's just like, oh shit, like
we had a game,
but like times 10.
We had a game like when we had Blueprints come out like that. We had Expedition 33 that kind of came out of nowhere like that.
Expedition 33 was amazing. Yeah. Our graders isn't like that's like my bright spot a little bit right now. I'm like our graders updates coming out tomorrow where there's new arcs and there's new and I'm like this is what I'm looking forward to doing until Pokopia. Pokopia.
It's so hard to say. Pokopia. I don't know.
Pokopia.
Yeah. There are some weeks that I'm so super excited to do our podcast. And then today's was just work.
Yeah, it was a lot.
We've been doing this a long time too.
Like
and we have these every so often where it's just like, I hope next week is better.
I'm hoping next week when we look at Pokemon, it's just going to be like whimsy and fun and less corporate.
Bring on Gen 10.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, let's close out this show. If you're curious about any of the articles we talked about or things that we referenced during the topic of the show, talking about all these changes that happened last week. Please go check out girlsongames.ca for links to everything. Catherine puts that together for us each week. Much appreciated. If you have the power to rate and review this podcast where you are consuming it, that'd be much appreciated. Why? It helps with discovery, pushes us up in the rankings, and any comments you leave help us build our show. I'd like to thank the crew for being on the podcast with me this week and always. And this is the moment where I ask them to shout out their social media handles so you can follow them anywhere and everywhere online. Catherine, where can people find you, my dear?
I'm CSDSBINS on Instagram, and Blue Sky are the two ones I'm kind of more or less active on right now. But I'm always shit posting in the Girls on Games Discord.
Joelle, where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram at JoelleLauren87. You can also find Ripley on Instagram at Ripley_the if you want to get cute pictures of puppies. And then
everybody needs cute pictures of puppies right now.
She's so cute.
Thank you for performing that service.
I'm trying to. It's like I forget. Like I'm out and I'm like, oh, I have to take photos. I'm just like, I'm not used to this. And then also on Blue Sky at Joelle Lauren. But always hanging out in the Girls on Games Discord. Come and say hi.
And I am Leah Jewer on most social media platforms. But of course, you want to know everything there is to know about Girls on Games. You can track us down at The Girls on Games on X and Facebook. Just Girls on Games on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. Discord.me/Girls on Games and continue this conversation and more. But of course, if you ever want to know anything at all, you can track it down at our home base. That's our website, girlsongames.ca. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Joelle. It's been another lovely week in video games. I'm off to go play Dredge and then Pokemon Leaf Green and prep for our Pokemon Direct, and hopefully it'll bring a little bit of light into the lives. All right, until next week, we will talk to you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.